So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. Blade, looks like it's all they did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it. Hi everyone, Martha here. So, just got done watching season 3 of Legend of Korra. So, this one, I do have some problems with this one, but I do like it most of all, because we get to see more of Zuko in this. I think next season we get to see Toph. So, in this season, Korra finds that there is more airbenders out there after what she did, after she, let the spirits come out. So, more airbenders came out, like even Boomy, Aang's oldest son, I think. And is it Tenzin? Is Tenzin or is Boomy older, or is their sister? It's not really clear. But I think Boomy's actually old, so because it makes sense for them to name their first kid after Boomy. So, he's supposed to be. He was a non-bender, but at first, then he learned he was trying to get clothes on his spirit bunny, and he fell off a tree, and he realized he can airbend, and nobody believed him at first until he was like, until Tenzin's son airbends to him, and he blocks it, airbending, so his life had to be in danger, basically. And then we meet Kai, who is Janora's love interest in this, who is basically Aladdin, who's like stealing stuff in order to survive, but he actually is, he was an orphan, just like, but he didn't like his new family, so he stole from them. So he's able to airbend, and during the first few episodes, he does give Mako and Bolin to kind of run from their money, literally, by stealing money from them. So they go to like Bong Sin Se, where the Air Kingdom is, and asks the Earth Queen about where airbending people. And it turns out that they're having the Ty Lee kidnapping people again, but this time they're kidnapping the air people to make them into the Queen's own personal army. I mean, it's like she's the complete opposite of her ancestor. She's more like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Like she's just waiting for the perfect time to kill anybody. But she wants to make it a game. She even says, "Off with their heads!" at one point, and off with somebody's head. So when she dies from Jerome, I think his name is, the bad guy in this, who's the Red Lotus group. We have 4 bad guys here, basically. We have one who has no arms, but she waterbend with, I guess, with her mind. And she always has water arms, basically. Then we have a guy who can lava bend. He's an earthbend. They're like, if you don't know how lava works, it technically is earthbending. Even though you would think if it's fire, but it's because you're moving Earth that's on fire, so it still counts. And then we have we have a girl who's basically like the the same person that kind of person that Zuko sent the Buxton man, I think his name was. This one's called basically the Buxton girl, and they even like Zuko even brings it up. Like, I did send this similar person to Aang to the Avatar one time, and he even talks about it with um I guess he's related to those two kids. They call him Uncle. The kids of the bad guy last season. They're like, I went after Korra one time, and it's just funny that those two relate to each other in this moment. Like, okay, so after that, we go to meet basically Toph's descendants. So her other daughter and Lynn and her did not exactly get along. She had basically a daughter who did not want to be a cop and one who wanted to be a cop. And we see hints of who's going to be the bad guy next season. So, and I make sure to put a picture of her, but they only mention her. They only show her once, but they do introduce her. But she has a very minor role. She's one of the guards at the Metal Clan, who basically is a bunch of Metal Clan benders, and Korra learns how to metal bend here, but Belen doesn't. And Varric is here hiding, since he's basically a wanted criminal because of what he did last season. So he's hiding here, but he actually tries to help like he did last time, but a better way, because he actually tells them how to figure, because the bad guys, after they escaped to go find Korra, because they wanted to take Korra and like take away her bending, make sure nobody comes. There's no more avatars, but they were first going to take it to her uncle. That's what they were supposed to do, but he turned on them and got him thrown in prison. So, and so when they want to see her at the Metal Clan, after she was trying to get one of Toph's granddaughters, who just found out who's going to be a airbender, who wasn't a earthbender, because this be almost be another avatar there, so I guess she didn't have any bending. So, they end up she almost getting captured, but the person who lets them in is a guy who can tell you when you're lying. So instead, he's actually lying. So they follow him, and he's basically meditating at a hotel in the desert to talking to the bad guy. Let's see. So here. So basically, he considers himself like the Avatar, and he's basically like a bad version of Aang, since he's an airbender. But he goes further, because he actually learns how to fly at the end of this. At the end of the season. So after they go after Tenzin and the other airbenders, and use basically them as bait in order to lure Korra. And yeah, we also could see Iroh again, because Iroh ends up telling him to go talk to talk to Zuko, and to ask her what would Aang do in this situation. And he basically says, well, Aang probably would turn himself over. And he said, where'd you get this information from? Basically, I talked to Iroh, and his face is like so surprised. Like, you talked to me, uncle? My uncle's dead though. It was like so. His face was like so surprised and sad at the same time. And like, oh Zuko, you miss your uncle. Um, and they go and decide to stay Tenzin, and poor Tenzin, he's always getting beat up in these seasons. He is one who stays with the kidnapping in order to bait them to thinking that they don't have like where they have the actual airbenders, but it's just the one with no arms using their water bin to make it look like there's people there, but they're actually holding the other airbenders themselves, and this is when they're like getting away. And this is also when Asami already are showing like signs that these two are going to get together in the future, because how much they actually help each other, because they help each other fix an airship and then build a sand sulfur. So even though these two don't kiss by the end of the show, really, there is hints that these two are going to end together by the end of the show, and it kind of shows up at the end of this around the season because how much these two work together. Yeah, so it's Mako basically, since both of them had problem with Mako, and then neither of them mad at each other for what Mako did to neither one of them. They blame him. So, I just love Varric in this season. So I do like this season. One thing I did have a problem with is making Boomy an airbender, but because he's supposed to be one that has no bending, because he's supposed to be like the one that is like Sokka, because since Katara had a brother who had no bending, so I thought that's what they're trying to represent. But I guess it's fine because he's not exactly like his brother Tenzin. He's more of a person that you have a hard time believing sometimes. He was like always old talk and tells stories sometimes, but you don't know. His stories are always out so outlanding. You don't know. You can believe his stories all the time. So if I'm gonna give this one a oh yeah, it ends with poor Korra being poisoned and not being able to do her pout and going forced into doing Avatar, and she almost gets killed by the poison, and it takes both Lin and her sister to save her, and she's ended up in a wheelchair, and she's actually vulnerable, and she's still, by the end of the season, she can't talk to Aang and the other avatars before her, so it's still gone. But she almost ended up being the last avatar, because since she almost would have died in her avatar state, which did happen to Aang when Zuko's sister Azula almost kills Aang. So yeah, so we kind of have the same exact thing that happens here, where they kind of win, but they kind of don't. When that was that end of that season, they didn't win. Period. So it's kind of like the spend on that. But the bad guy actually wins. So defeated she feels in this moment. But we do get to see Jinora get her tattoos, because they were hinting at it earlier in the season that when she was like finding some bison with her boyfriend Kai, she was asking for her tattoos from Tenzin, because she should have them by now, because she learned how to do something that he couldn't, and be more spiritual than him. And he's just trying to be careful with his daughter. So we see Jinora look just like her grandfather here, because she has no hair and having tattoos just like him. You have a hard time recognizing her, but it's her. Like, it's Aang! Like, no, it's not. It's his granddaughter. So, yeah. So I do like this season. I'm probably going to give it a 9 out of 10. So, like we were describing, next season, it's the last season. So we'll see you guys then. Thank you guys for giving me 411 subscribers. Bye bye.